weighted data and volume to weight conversion training. We'll go through how you can calculate the total pounds of recycled material generated during the competition by converting from volume to weight. The first step is, of course, collecting recyclable materials in your recycling containers and determining how full each container is. Also, be sure to find out what day you are serviced and look in the container the night before your recycling is hauled. On the recyclable website under Playbook, then Competition Resources, you can download some scorecards that will help you tally and keep track of your material weight and/or volumes for conversion to weight. Some recycling containers may be stored outside your school. This could include dumpsters. The most common size is an 8 cubic yard container, and then roll carts, which are usually 95 or 65 gallons, but there are smaller 35-gallon carts also, and/or roll-off dumpsters. These are large containers that would most often have a gable top to keep the rain off the material. They would have to be hauled very infrequently. Others you may find in and around your school are 35-gallon recycling containers, which are the size of a typical cafeteria trash can. 18-gallon recycling containers like you might have in a curbside recycling program, or a 55-gallon drum like what you might see at an athletic facility parking lot. Some containers may have bags with various volumes also. For most of these containers and bags, you can weigh on a scale or convert from volume to weight, as we'll demonstrate. For those schools on the Abitibi Paper Retriever program, or really any program that provides monthly weight data, the school can estimate the weight of their recyclables from October 17th to November 12th by taking the monthly weight from October and November and averaging them. Paper Retriever schools can log into their Abitibi account on December 8th to get their data from November. You'll then need to report your average weight to recyclable by December 16th. For those of you that are with an Abitibi Paper Retriever program and you want to collect the material from within your school and track only what's being collected in your school, you could track that material before you put it in the container and report only what's collected from within your school. Some important terms you should be aware of and know before calculating volume to weight include cans. This would be a typical aluminum soda can. Bottles, which refers to plastic water, juice, and soda bottles. It could also include a bottle generated by the cafeteria staff, like ketchup bottles. Cardboard is the thick, 3-ply paper where you have a flat sheet, a wavy sheet, and another flat sheet. It's essentially a shipping box. Steel cans would most likely come from the soup or vegetable dishes that the cafeteria would be making. And mixed paper would include white paper, magazines, newspaper, paperboard shoe boxes, and things like that. And then commingled material would include all of this, listed above, put into one container. It could also be called single-stream recycling. Some important abbreviations to know include those for pounds, cubic yard, and gallon. You may also find that the conversion of 1 cubic yard equals 2.01 gallons, or 1 gallon equals 0.00576 cubic yards to be helpful in your volume to weight conversion. If you collect multiple materials or a mix of material in a single container, this is called commingled. This table, which can be found on the recyclable website as part of the volume to weight fact sheet, provides conversions for different combinations of material. And depending upon your container, you'll want to use either the conversions for pounds per gallon or pounds per cubic yard. Of course, if you have a 35-gallon recycling bin, you'll use the pounds per gallon conversion factor. But if you have a 6 cubic yard dumpster, you'll want to use the pounds per cubic yard conversion factor. Be sure to choose the appropriate conversion factor based on the volume of the container and the type of material you are allowed to put in it. If you have different containers for different materials, this is called source separated. You'll want to be sure to use the conversion factor for the specific material collected, as well as the appropriate conversion factor based on the type of container. Next, we'll have 4 examples to help you get started converting volume to weight. For our first sample calculation, we'll be converting 5 full 35-gallon bins of paper that have been collected during the competition. Using the recyclable conversion factors, there's 2.8 pounds per gallon. So 5 full 35-gallon bins of paper would be 490 pounds. We first calculated how much one 35-gallon bin full of paper weighs by cross-multiplying and finding that one bin weighs 98 pounds. Since there are 5 of these full bins, we simply multiply 98 pounds by 5 to get 490 pounds. For our second sample calculation, we'll be converting 3 full 18-gallon bins that contain a mix of cans and bottles and have been collected during the competition. Using the recyclable conversion factors, there's 0.16 pounds per gallon. So 3 full 18-gallon bins of cans and bottles would be 8.1 pounds. To get this calculation, we first calculated how much one 18-gallon bin full of cans and bottles weighs by cross-multiplying and finding that one bin weighs 2.88 pounds. Since there are 3 of these full bins, we simply multiply 2.88 pounds by 3 to get 8.64 pounds. For our third sample calculation, you and your students have counted the number of cans and bottles that were collected in your classroom recycling bin. You've recorded 65 cans and 80 bottles. Using the recyclable conversion factors, 1 can is 0.03 pounds and 1 bottle is 0.04 pounds. So you have a total of 5.15 pounds of recyclable material. We first calculated how much the 65 cans weighed by multiplying 65 by 0.03 pounds, which equals 1.95 pounds. Next, we calculated how much the 80 bottles weighed by multiplying 80 by 0.04 pounds, which equals 1.95 pounds. To get the total weight of recycled material, simply add 1.95 pounds and 3.2 pounds, which gives you the total of 5.15 pounds recycled material. For our fourth and final sample calculation, you found your school has an 8 cubic yard dumpster for paper. It was full the first and second week and only half full the third and subsequent final week. But it was emptied each week. What is the total weight in pounds? Using the recyclable conversions, there's 3.42 pounds per cubic yard. So you'll have 8,219 pounds of recycled paper. To calculate this, we first will calculate how much one full 8 cubic yard dumpster weighs by cross-multiplying to get 2,739 pounds. The 8 cubic yard was full for 2 weeks, so multiply 2,739 by 2 to get 5,479. But remember next, the 8 cubic yard is only half full, so you have 4 cubic yards of the dumpster full, and it has weighable material. So to calculate the weight, we cross-multiply, and you get 1,369 pounds. Since it was half full for 2 weeks, you're going to multiply 1,369 pounds by 2 to get 2,739 pounds. But to get your final total, you add 5,479 to 2,739, and you get 8,219 pounds of recycled paper. Don't forget, you also have the option of weighing 1 full bag of material on a household scale and then counting the number of similar bags and extrapolating the data that way. Thank you for viewing the Estimating Data and Using Volume to Weight Conversions training. All of the information provided in this presentation can be found on the Recyclable webpage, recycle-bowl.org, under the Rule Book tab. Comments or questions can be sent to info@recycle-bowl.org. Good luck, everyone.